I know you've seen Lost. You're familiar with this concept.
Mission we were going on.
Yeah,
but you left the bunker.
We're presuming that YouTube will save them automatically for us.
And
you got the slave we were after.
Yeah, Orden. It was a really interesting pivotal. Okay, I'm ready.
It looks like you should just be able to start sending video from.
I think it's streaming.
From the streaming software, and it'll go.
I think it's streaming.
Check it.
Oh, I don't see it.
Maybe it'll add to the feeling of what we're doing.
Oh yeah, no, it says we're live.
Lost files.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see us.
Can you hear us and stuff? Dwight had a good idea about how to recoup some of the content of that episode.
I don't know if I can hear us or not.
A very special episode where we remember things and you all talk around the camera.
No, I can't hear us.
Maybe you could have like a person ask some questions.
If we can go live.
Okay, you're definitely getting the output.
I don't think it's just me.
I can hear you.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Oh, should I check it on YouTube?
Yeah, we're not doing
Check it on YouTube.
I don't have enough
YouTube. Starfall Collective.
Yeah, that sounds right.
One of two, and I only need.
Starfall Collective Soul. It
Okay, I don't have enough.
asked if I wanted to. Okay, it says live. Let's see if I can hear anything.
Can you hear us?
Yep. That was a while ago, but
I put it on normal latency, not low latency. Just
this is
figuring who
30
cares.
seconds.
We're not planning on doing chat stuff yet.
Yeah. I'm gonna forward this to LT though in case it's.
Okay. Well, I think that means we're in good shape, guys. Let's go ahead and visualize World Peas here.
You also might want to put a link on the website in case there is anyone out there who.
About 8 worth. So.
I don't know if it would have the website says.
Yeah. What's it gonna do?
You slapped one on me.
That's true.
On me.
Yeah, we might.
I have to do this.
What's on us may last.
So LT pointed out that it is a concentration spell.
Yeah.
Expeditious retreat.
Yeah.
One of the things that was super helpful to me is
I
that
didn't
they helped me
even
understand
realize there was
concentration spells.
Yeah.
I printed out all the spells in a checkup, so woo, and it lets me quickly look up the spell, understand what the components are, the casting time, the level, what school, whether it's concentration, and whether it can be done as a ritual. So that means I'll be able to say things like, "Oh, you cast that. Okay, great. Your prior spell will disappear." Or whatever. You can only focus on one thing at a time. Because some spells do not require that.
Yeah, so concentration is a mechanic that sort of makes it so that magic can't just totally destroy the game.
Mm.
So a spell that's concentration is generally going to be more powerful, especially in combination.
You'll get to see that in action right now, because my Wall of Thorns is a concentration.
That's right. One of the notes about concentration spells is, just to give you all a sense, a heads up about this. Sorry, first of all, real quickly, can everybody see? Are we doing okay now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see him here.
Great. Let's get started.
Is he?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's just not showing screen.
But can we hear him?
He's muted
Yeah.
right now. He's been
saying a few
some
things.
stuff.
I missed it. Okay.
I'm present.
Hi.
And you know what I can do? To see if this works.
Does this mean it's concentration?
Yeah.
I'm going to bring the dogs in real quick, because otherwise they're going to be barking in the background.
Sounds good.
I still don't know how to spell that.
No, you're good. We're not doing it yet.
But if you want to stay and add sound effects, feel free to.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's batter out with the banana bread.
Spolash does dishes.
You can just tell us what sound effects you feel like doing, and we'll work it into the story.
I like it.
Nat, will you say something?
Hey, this is Matt.
Wow.
Is it that?
That was up there, yeah.
Ah.
And I'm curious to see if you hear your own voice, Matt. when you do that, or Josh.
Yes. This is me. I can hear myself in your microphone.
But not very bad.
Okay, then I will not use that speaker. All right. Great. Here we are. Let's do it. Sorry for the delay. It is 8 of the clock. We should be streaming on YouTube. Let me tell you. Well, let's get into it real quickly. I'll do the intro bit, and then we can cut out stuff in post if we need to. Let's get my.
What? Where did the ladder go?
It's in the garage. But I realized, oh look, I've got a thing right here. So, okay.
That's the third tradition we've broken. See, we haven't even started the stream yet.
Yeah.
But it's like the 8th one we've created.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fair point.
All right, here we go.
I'm always wearing glasses when I stream.
All right. This is The Dying of the Light, Season 3 of the Starfall Collective. The Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating rich and compelling stories in a fictional world that we've been developing together for a while. You can find out more about the collective, as well as the stories we're telling, at thestarfallcollective.com. We're back with a new episode. Let's find out who's in this episode. I'm Sir Robert, a father and entrepreneur. I am the host of this season's story. With me tonight are a few friends playing the characters in this drama. Please say your name, something about yourself if you like, and a brief description of the character you are playing. Why don't we start this time with Patrick?
Yeah, my name is Patrick. I am playing the character Toll, and I am known for spitting into the breeze and other general rapscallionry. And Toll is known for being a man of few words, but many accoutrements as of late. He's got himself a fur coat, he's got himself a stick, does things, and he's got himself some fancy mail armor too.
Breastplate.
He's a man about forest. Great, and Jacob.
I am Jacob Burbridge, and I will be playing, not Splint, he's dead, Talid, and he already has PTSD from his effective uncle slitting the throat of his sister.
Oh yeah, that didn't get taken out.
Did not get that yet. Jared?
Yeah, I'm playing Yoshka tonight. You can imagine kind of a stocky, bristly-faced Russian gypsy. He's the bard, and so far the talkiest, and maybe that's why the leader of the party.
Tall stocky or short stocky?
Not super tall.
Okay, sounds good. Aaron Joy.
Aaron Joy, playing Nino. She is short and recently feels vindicated. There was a brief emotional attack against her preferred deity, but turns out everybody else was very wrong.
So not cool, guys. Come on, Orphan.
Dwight?
Hi, I'm Dwight. I'm playing Belvari, who will never trust again. He was feeling safe, as you may have noticed from his behavior, and now he does not ever think he will ever feel safe again. And he is currently a lion. Not a lied, a lion.
And why don't we do Matt?
Hi, my name is Matthew Talamini. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com. I play the shirtless wizard Diamondback who crossed the bridge that Belvari just crossed 2 towns ago.
2 towns ago?
Oh yeah, this is town number 3 that has betrayed me terribly.
To be fair, Belvari didn't trust before. So, like, He's not catching up to you. He took a short jaunt into trust and will never go again.
I can't think of which 3 towns betrayed you.
The first one,
Was the trading town.
His hometown.
my hometown, let me down pretty big when
Okay.
they all got killed.
And then Basket City.
Basket City is on the edge. They're a maybe, depending on how much
Miradau.
that guy was in league with these ones.
Yeah.
But the trading town with the little halfling.
Goroda. I still have to
Goroda.
burn Goroda to the ground.
Hey,
Okay.
That's on
That's his final
Diamondback's
quest.
to-do list.
Side note, one of the challenges of this whole exercise is not being able to like strategize with you guys in between the sessions. There's so much I want to talk about.
And
Start
Josh.
writing down town names.
hey, I'm Josh. I'm playing. Sleen's dead. Gulb's dead. Inkatink, that's right. Inkatink has lasted more than the other 2 combined now. He is a Kinku, and he is able to emulate the voices of others, but is not able to speak in his own voice. He has not one. He has, if you look at him carefully, you'll notice wow, you guys are infecting me. Non-raven-like features, scales like a dragon, an extra set of eyelids that blink sometimes, things that you would only notice if you were looking carefully. But he is a strange bird, and in the last few weeks, those features have been becoming more and more noticeable.
So, good. Let's get into the action here. I'm going to do a little bit of bookkeeping first for our players and listening audience. This will be cut in post, or at least refined in post. It's just some cleanup. I gave the players, they gained some experience as they walked for their couple of weeks of relative downtime from the teleportation circle after Miradau up to Orvan, the current place. I did not give you all adventuring experience because there was specifically not adventuring, like it was very quiet. What you did get experience with was you hunted for components, you got to know each other and made some episodes of a feel-good coming-of-age movie. I gave each character 450 experience for that time. I have also added to the party's shared component pouch a big chunk of components, a fairly large one. I had several of you, just sort of opportunistically, I had several of you tell me spells that you might have searched for, and then I did my best to kind of guess them too. And what I focused on, usually I do random, when y'all are just out looking for stuff, I do random components, because that's what's happening. But since you said you wanted to be looking for some things, I went ahead and did 2 things. One, I focused on some of the spells you've used more, giving you more of that. 2, some higher level spells, making sure that you had 3 or 4 or 5 different things of some of those higher level spells. And then also you have between 2 and maybe 30 of the components. The higher level the magic on it, the fewer of them you got. But the lower level, you got a lot of cantrips, you got a lot of level 1s, and then fewer level 2s, fewer level 3s, and so forth.
Thanks.
Yep. And during that same, it's in your shared component pouch. During that same period, I imagined in my dreaming of DM dreams that you would have spent some of your downtime identifying those components, so they're all fully identified in the shared component pouch with the magic that's on them. So,
Thank you.
there you go. That is there for you to behold and adore. A couple other things I wanted to tell you, a couple other little bits and pieces. You will notice, and I'm saying this so that nobody thinks it is an oversight on my part, you have locate object spells in your shared, not spells, components in your shared pouch. You have some detect magic. You do not have any find the path. That is not an oversight, and there's a reason, but you don't know it. But you do have some find the path components. You just didn't find them as you were going. One of the other things you will note is 100% of those spells, of those components you found are from plants. There were no animals to speak of. I think you have a beetle or something, and some random bits. It's all plant components, and that was one of the ways that I just used to restrict it. I generated a bunch of random stuff, and I just lopped off the animals, and
That's cool.
what was left was left. Okay. There we go. So, and then I gave you all spells that you had seen before, except I threw in some ones that you had not ever used, like Levitate, that you now have enough to do some castings of. What else? Oh, right. LT, as I mentioned, I'm saying this now for people's benefit, told me that I was not doing a fantastic job of, he said it nicely, I was not doing a fantastic job of knowing things about D&D, such as, for example, how concentration works. And so he gave me some good advice, which was to print a complete list of all the spells, formatted to let me do quick lookups and know things like, hey, that's concentration. Great, I will know on your next casting whether or not it stays. Things like that. So I'm going to be trying to get used to that, so bear with me. And I think that's all of that. Oh, sorry, yes, one more. Listening audience, I will see if I can put up for you the map I shared with these guys to let them have a visualization of the scene that they're in, but
Helpful since it's complex.
yeah. I will not be relying on that verbally as I describe. I won't be saying, look at that part where, because that makes terrible podcast audio. But I wanted y'all to know, and you should feel free to reference that. That is, potentially useful.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Hey, which of our characters is currently holding the party component pouch?
Yoshika. Cool. Also, lastly, sorry.
I imagine during the long weeks
Yeah.
we would have. I was trying to get towards divvying things up.
Yeah.
So pull some stuff out.
Yeah. And do make sure you can pull some stuff out that we'll just retcon you did prior. Do make sure that you remove them from the shared pouch when you add them to yours, so that there's not a cloning bug in my code, as it were. Great, let's do it. So, setting the scene from last time. And I've got to pull up my... Sorry, so many windows. Is that the one? Nope, that is not it. There it is. Okay, great. So... there we go. And I'm making, yikes, my map bigger. I did not, I just distorted it very wildly. Okay, there we go. So last time, for those of you who are keeping track of major events in the story, it turned out Elephine and the Oravan, though they are trusted distributors of barrels to the God-fearing, peace-loving towns of the people. They are mostly trusted. They are trusted by lots of parties. The Menuhin wayfarers, the townsfolk of various kinds, and apparently the Iron Bell. The Oravan are worshippers of a deity they call Simdaron. This is what you guys have common knowledge of. They say Simdaron owns all of this: the forest above, the caves below, the animals, blah blah blah. And in particular, Simdaron owns the forest above and every creature in it. Elephine also mentioned that they have finished their years-long project that the Menuhins helped them with, though, as far as Yoshika can tell, unwittingly with regard to, pushing forward any nefarious things. And maybe Yoshika's right. I'm just not speaking from third person omniscient right now. I'm speaking from party knowledge. You also heard Spolash's. Sorry, the Spolash was there. Spolash is the highest level Iron Bell functionary that you know of, that you've encountered. And you heard his aide-de-camp say, by the way, two things. LT mentioned that that valet is the preferred Americanized version, not the British valet. So, I will go with that, although he actually offered a better phrase in aide-de-camp, which is exactly what I was looking for, but was not appropriate prior to knowing that he was Polish. So here's what you've known. He told Spolash at one point, they, whoever that is, will be arriving with all the animals by tomorrow, which is today, from the south. You also heard Talid tell you that the Great River is only about a 20-minute jog to the north. And finally, they have delivered barrels to every town in which people choose to live differently. And the adults of Oravan, at the ceremony that you just beheld, received the blessing of Sindaron. Okay, here's where we are. Talid saw his sister murdered by his uncle, and as Talid's father was bringing his dagger up to murder Talid, with, a little bit of disappointment in Talid, to be honest.
Yeah.
Talid took advantage of his father's sort of tutting disapproval of Della to sprint out of the cavern. He knew the way fast because he lives there, and managed to get out and a quick jog away. Toll and Neno, using expeditious retreat, just bolted straight out following Talid. They now are outside the caves. Toll has cast a wall of thorns that I let curve around that blocks the southern part of this gateway, most of what's there, in a kind of U shape. And if you guys can get out, it will block many but not all of the Iron Bell who were there. It'll block them until they can either get around it or get through it, or something happens and it goes away. There were a few Iron Bell too close to the gate. He wouldn't have been able to leave passage for you guys. So he said what he wanted to do was kind of make an optimal path that cut people off, cut off the Iron Bell without cutting you guys off. Inside, Spolash was in hot pursuit of Talid and made it he made it into the corridor that's maybe 100 feet long, 150 feet long, has a couple of curves in it. Diamondback, Belvari, Inkatink, and Yoshka decided to stop and fight Spolash. Try to do away with that rapscallion. Is that the word you used before? I'll say Tom Noddy then. Indeed, they have done quite a bit of damage, and importantly, Yoshka managed to cast Hold Person on Spolash, and he's been unable to do anything for a couple of rounds. So they have just been wailing on him, although he has good armor, and it was hard to hit him.
The first definition of Tom Noddy is Atlantic Puffin.
It is true.
Second definition is full dunce or noddy.
And I could have told you both. That's actually, Attercop and Tom Noddy were some of the insults from Lord of the Rings that were told. I can't remember who. A little chant they did. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just remember that from when I read it in high school. Attercop, Tom Noddy, I had to look them up.
Does Spolash, is it clear how badly injured he is?
So he's petrified. You're not hearing anything from him. He's definitely wounded, significantly, but you can't tell things like, is he crumpled in a heap on the ground? Because he's stiff.
Stuck.
How many hit points has he taken?
You have done 61.
Okay. I would guess he's at least half dead. But we have no idea, and Charlotte could have just made him level 50.
I did not.
Nope.
I don't think there is a level 50.
No?
That ain't nerdcore.
What's the highest?
20.
20.
And 20 is like just about ascension to God.
Just make 3 level 20 characters.
He's probably almost
Put
dead.
them together.
So,
I would say he does not have another 50.
that is
There are bad
indeed
guys that up to
what
level
Jared
30.
would say.
But those are gods.
What'd you say?
There are bad guys. There are monsters up to level 30, but those are actual gods.
Yeah. Tiamat or something. Is Tiamat at 30?
With things
Yep.
like time stop and other such spells that make battle against them impossible.
So, let us now visualize Squirrel Peas and get to our action. Yes? Anything?
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. We are starting a round of action. If you recall, so I preserved our order. It is, and I'm just going to tell you what's happening. Spolash rolled terribly, which worked out well for you guys. Diamondback, Yoshka, Inkatink. This is the order. Diamondback, Yoshka, Inkatink, Belvari, Talid, Toll, Spolash, Neno. Okay? Sound good? All right.
Awesome.
So, we're going to start with Diamondback. You are... Yeah.
Can I get a description of the situation?
Yep.
Who of my allies can I see with me?
Yes.
How far am I from the exit? And the last thing that I heard was Toll yelling, "They've got an army."
That's right. Toll made it out, and you could hear his voice, but no longer see him. They have this. Remember, they have this magical kind of entrance exit. It's hidden, so it's hidden. There is Spolash, about 20 feet from Spolash. Belvari, in lion form, is crouched. He has been pouncing back and forth because he does very good damage as a lion. He's
Excellently.
been playing cat and mouse. Diamondback, you are standing 5 to 8 feet away from Belvari. You're on the exit side of Spolash, so you're towards the exit. You are about 100 feet from the exit right now. I guess the whole tunnel is about 180-ish feet long. You're about 100 feet from... Oh, wait, no, I think I did that wrong.
Yep, you said 5.
I'm sorry, 50 feet. Yeah, I counted incorrectly. You're about 50 feet from the exit, Diamondback, though you cannot see the exit from where you are.
Right.
That would be your knowledge of it. Belvari, you're slightly closer to the exit. You're a couple of feet closer in a different direction. You can just barely make it out in the dimness. It's too far away to see detail. It's a dark cave.
Yeah.
So whatever. Belvari and Diamondback. Back down the tunnel towards into Oravan stands Spolash, about 15-20 feet away from the two of you. Inkatink is standing right next to Spolash. He has just pilfered and used sleight of hand.
Spolash has been knocked down. He's not standing.
He's paralyzed and is
Prone.
Yeah.
Inkatink is standing over / next to Spolash and has relieved him of the burden of his component pouch. Though whether you guys know that, I don't know.
I was going to say I did it stealthily.
Yep. Yoshka ran and with the Pericles-like battle cry of "Let's get this fool," he shillelagh'd, I guess. Was that the weapon you're using?
Yeah.
Magical, right?
Yep, magically. Spolash, he clubbed him in the...
Probably chest, because I clanged off of him.
Yeah, he clubbed him in the chest. Unfortunately, what didn't do significant damage with that. He just, was able to hit him, but the armor was very protective. And also, just to remind you, Diamondback, Spolash's arm is heated from your heat metal spell.
I am quite aware of that.
Okay. Diamondback, you're first.
So here are some questions I have about my environment that I think that I would already know without having to take time to look.
Okay.
What objects are in this area with us?
Walls
Furniture,
of a cavern.
doors. It's just a smooth rock cave.
Not that smooth, but it's, rock, dirt, stuff.
Are there any other exits or entrances with such things as doors?
Sorry, hold on one sec. Say it again.
Are there any entrances or exits nearby, such as other doors or storage rooms or anything like that?
Not that you know of. You see the exit you don't see the exit you came in originally to Orvan. But you know it's somewhere that way, and you're not sure how far exactly. And 50, 60 feet away, you can see into the main cavern, but not clearly. It's partially obscured by just the curving of the tunnel.
Okay, I have this question. The last question.
Yeah, right.
Probably not last question. Last question. How long do I think that I have to get out of here before this army shows up? I have no indication other than getting told there's an army, right?
Yeah.
So I really have no idea. But he can't, he probably is not seeing this army from half a mile away. He busted out of the entrance, and the first thing he saw was an army. So I guess they're coming pretty quick.
Yes, and you have all of the clues you need to piece together what's happening. Whether Diamondback or Matt have, I don't know.
Did you say if we saw back towards the cavern people starting to...
It's too far away for you to make out that level of detail.
Gotcha.
This is a tunnel that kind of goes like this, and
Gotcha.
there's light, but that's what you can see.
Okay. Diamondback is going to make a roll to determine what strategy he's going to try and use in this situation, because it's a toss-up between two possibilities.
Sure.
And so the first possibility is going to be 10 or below, and the second possibility is going to be 11 or above. Okay. So
What'd you get first or
Diamondback.
second?
What?
What'd you get first or second?
Second.
I knew it.
So Diamondback is going to yell to the others. I've put a spell on him that will kill him eventually. We need to tie him and gag him so he'll suffocate and leave him here. And then we need to get out. Just convey those three things. There's a spell on him that'll kill him eventually. We should suffocate him and tie him. And then hopefully we will be able to get out, and by the time that army can get in here to render him aid, he will have been destroyed by the spell and,
Sure.
suffocation that I hope that we three can put on him. So I would love to hide him so they won't be able to find him to render him aid. But I think that's not going to work because there's nothing in here to hide him under.
It's intentionally a nondescript cave. It's not trying to be interesting if anybody were to happen to stumble in.
It's like it's just a hallway, basically.
Yeah,
rough
but it looks
stone.
natural-ish. It
Looks natural.
It just looks like a cave to be found.
Does anyone have enlarge reduce? Shrink him down, put him in your pocket.
It only cuts into half size.
Oh.
Just shrink
It would
down
make him
like
easier to
human
carry.
times.
I don't think it's that.
I mean, the other possibility, I don't have time to tell this to you guys, but tactically, the other possibility, if we want to kill him, is we pick him up, we fire him, two of us, pick him up and carry him with us so that we can keep hurting him as we go.
I mean, we
but
want hostage anyway.
That's a fair point.
but what Diamondback
conveys
actually
what he
says, that's not the one that he chose. Diamondback actually says, tie him, suffocate him, leave him. My spell will finish him off as we go. So Diamondback is going to attempt to do the first part of that by traveling 10 feet back towards Spolash.
Okay.
and attempting to tie him. I have some rope. Let me make sure I actually have some rope.
So what I'll let you get to him, but what you said was an action's worth of conveyance.
Oh.
It wasn't like nothing. It took you, I don't know, it took you 10, 15 seconds to say that when you said it just now. 10 seconds.
That was not my intention.
Okay, what's your intention? We can see what we can do.
Don't you get 10 words for free?
Maybe that I'm willing for something like that. I don't know the rule of specifically at that level, but
I've heard that. I don't know if that's a house
He'll
rule. or
die
an actual rule,
eventually. Gag him. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm hoping to communicate that very quickly, not like
Laconically.
yeah.
I'm willing for something very terse.
How much
like
of
that.
it can I communicate without using up my action or my bonus action?
Something like
The let's get out of here should go without saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, my spell will kill him, gag him, let's go.
Yeah,
Now.
Okay, yeah. My spell will kill him, suffocate him, let's go. And then I want to use my action to
start doing that.
To start using my to cut off 20 feet of hempen rope and start binding him.
Okay, that sounds good. I think the amount of time it would take to tie somebody up, that's not like a single action thing, but I'm happy for you to start that now and maybe finish on your next action. Unless there's a D&D rule for that, but it seems like it takes a little while to wrap and tie and hog tie somebody.
Yeah, I want to tie him so he won't be
Yeah.
able to get himself free if he gets out of the spell.
I think that's maybe improvise.
Okay,
So I start tying him.
sounds good.
And on my bonus action, he takes the third of the 10 pieces of fire damage from the spell that he is under from me. So he gets
Okay.
from the heat metal on his hand,
Okay.
on his metal artificial hand. So he's going to take 5 damage
All
from
right.
that.
If you do improvise, you decide if he needs to make a roll or how
Okay.
long it takes. It's up to you.
Okay.
And
I
it looks
think
like the sort of thing that would be under that.
that makes sense. And that sounds good to me. I think I'll let you choose how many actions you want to spend on this, basically, Matt. And I'll give you something like, because tying them up, like the longer you take, the better your job's going to be, something like that.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll give you a 5. I think sounds reasonable. DC points for him to get out of per round that you spend on it.
Okay. If one of my friends comes and helps me, we can probably
I'm game for that.
add to that as well.
Absolutely. If all 4 of you do it, you'll get really fast in one round. If they
Cool.
do something else,
Yeah. So at the end of my turn, they see me crouching by him, beginning to bind him
You could cut the knot.
with my rope.
okay. Yoshka, it is your turn.
Okay, and so Yoshka casts Alter Self on himself to look just like Spolash. It's like Disguise Self, but he actually has the same voice as him.
Great.
You also get like claws or something, right?
Then he says, well, I'm not going to look like that. There's a
Wow.
couple different options how you can look.
It would be
Ladies
cool
and
to be
gentlemen,
Swole
this
Ash
is-
with claws, though.
That would be cool. You're right.
Think about it.
Yeah, but that wouldn't fool anybody.
You're right. That would be good for, not good for stealth, but good for hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
And then he uses his...
Sorry, that's your action, is
That's
to
my
do the
action.
components. Yep.
Yeah. Then he uses his bonus action to do Mantle of Inspiration on himself, Inkatink, Diamondback, and Belvari.
Okay.
Each of you get 5 temporary hit points, which are just like hit points that last until you do a long rest.
Love it.
So, and it can put you up above your max if you're at max already.
Which you should be mostly. I don't think any of y'all taking damage actually.
Yeah.
How many was that?
5.
Love it.
Little things,
Where
little
I'm putting my
things.
lion's hit points into.
Say it again.
I'm putting my lion's hit points into.
Okay.
And then 5 more.
Okay. So I'm just trying to do some marking this as I go.
Excuse me.
And for his inspiration, he says, "Let me go speak to my army," in Spolash's voice, and spends his reaction to move 30 feet towards the entrance of the tunnel.
Okay. That's from your expeditious retreat.
No, I lost my expeditious retreat when I did alter self because that's a concentration.
Okay. So you're using your reaction. How does that work?
So when I cast Mantle of Inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, the 4 of us who are with Spolash, can immediately move up to our full
Got it.
movement as a reaction, and we get 5. So if you guys, now is the time during my turn to speak up if you want to use that movement.
I'm currently
I moved
tying
third.
Spolash, so. But if anybody wants to help me come tie Spolash, you can come up to me right now.
And then, so I moved 30 feet towards the edge of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a straight shot out, or is it slope up?
Yeah, it slopes upward because you're going out, but not enough that you need to take that into account.
Can I like see out of it
You can
as I round?
see it shimmer at the end where the magical thing is, as though daylight's kind of wobbling, but you can't see out of it.
Okay. So about 30 feet there.
So you're roughly halfway between Diamondback and the exit if you go 30 feet.
Okay. Then I am going to. Well, if I can't see out, and they can't see in.
They can hear you though if they hurt him.
Yeah. I am going to go the rest of the way out with my movement, which is another 30 feet. Step out past that line, and if there's anybody right there, any soldiers, say, hold the entrance!
Okay.
Would they know where the entrance was?
Yes, they were gathered around the entrance and are friendly with
Right.
the
Right.
place, with Orvan.
Could you tell me what I see when I step out?
Yes. Will it affect anything right this second?
No.
Okay,
That's-
then let me go a little further because it'll also inform other people of what you're seeing, and I'd rather they make their choices more pristinely. Is it
Sounds
good?
good.
And then I'll describe. We'll catch up on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yoshka, as you run, as you're moving. Sorry, you used your movement to get another 30 feet.
Yeah.
And I
It
just
looked
wanna-
like it was about 60 feet out from me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like right at the edge. So you basically get to the door. That's like you step out, but are
Yeah.
at the door. As you do that, I'll tell you the first thing you do see for sure is, and I'm going to talk about these at the same time, kind of, but 2 giant wolf spiders crawl in passing you. You pass each other going out. So the end of your movement, the beginning of theirs, they're in the tunnel. The wolf spiders move forward and are. Make sure that I got this. There we go. Okay. These 2 wolf spiders are crawling up the walls and ceiling and make it to Belvari about 10 feet from you. And a little bit further from Diamondback. He's slightly further in. But you can see them now. They're along the walls, climbing up. They do not do anything with their actions, I don't believe. And I'm just going to really quickly confirm their movement speed. And I'm going to count. So,
according to the internet, wolf spiders don't make webs, and they are shy and likely to run away when disturbed.
I don't think those are D&D wolf spiders.
maybe not giant wolf spiders.
It's probably the same as the dying of the light.
That's right.
Their confidence grows with their chitinous shell.
So these two spiders are within range of you. Sorry, not quite within range to attack you, Bovari. You're the closest to them, but they're about 10 feet away, and that's just a little outside of their bitey range.
Gotcha.
Good. And then that is, you see these two come in. From back in the cavern, the next thing you see, and I'll describe again, and I'll kind of sum up the whole round as we do this, but the next thing that happens is you see one of the Orevan, just some random person, flash past the entrance to the... Josh, were you going to say something?
Sorry, is this the end of the round? I didn't go.
No,
this
we're
round.
still very much at the beginning of the round.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
All
go
of
ahead.
these people have an initiative, so I'm just going in order.
Cool.
They dart. A guy darts. For those of you who are near, there's going to be Inkatink, Diamondback, and Belvar. You could probably see it, but not make out much detail. Inkatink, you're probably in the same situation. You can see it, but not make out much detail. A guy bolts past the entrance, and as he does, casts Eldritch Blast. I'm going to roll a die here, and on these guys in general, because they're just trying to shoot at one of you, and y'all are, a little further away.
Which direction is this person? From inside or
Inside
outside?
Orevan.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do is
So it's like behind them, where we came from.
yeah, they're actually all facing that direction because Spolash is they're past Spolash, but yes, it's where you came from. They're gonna a 1 or 2 is Belvari, a 3 or 4 is Diamondback, and a 5 or 6 is Inkatink. A 6.
I'm sorry, I thought that... Wait, I didn't understand the thing that you just said
Okay.
about where these people are.
Not from the entrance where Jared just left, but one of the
Okay.
Orevan townsfolk from the caves.
Right, from where I came from.
Yeah, he
Okay.
darts across the entrance of this tunnel that you're in, and as
Right,
he
and
does
shoots at
so,
us and-
casts an Eldritch Blast down the tunnel at you guys. He aimed at Inkatink.
Okay. So I'm on the other side of Spolash, who is a paralyzed fixture and bigger than me. Does that mean that I have at least like half cover or anything?
No,
He's laying
He's
down.
looking for you. He's seeing you.
Oh, he's laying down. Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. All right.
And so, I'm sorry, I need to. There it is. Unfortunately, I am not. I don't know all of the rules of all of these spells, so I have to look them up. So bear with me. So what this is this guy runs past, and you can see him smashed a couple of components together, and this little black, and then a beam of black crackling energy streaks towards Inkatink. Let's see, and I need to make a ranged spell attack against you,
Yep.
which I don't know the rules for. Can somebody help me with that?
It's
D20 plus their
plus-
proficiency bonus plus their
Okay.
dexterity modifier.
Plus their dex modifier, that was it. Okay, and I have their stat block. All right. And a roll on the cable. Does a 14 hit you?
No.
All right. So this Eldritch Blast blasts by you. It's this crackling energy streams by you and hits a wall.
It bounces. It hits enough that my scales have to do some work to bounce it off.
You can hear it kind of rattling your scaly feathers. Good. Okay. Then an Orevan guard comes partially down the tunnel. He's taking cover in one spot around, but he pops out, moves himself out, and crushes a couple of components. And what you see is in the gap between Belvari and Diamondback on one side and Inkatink on the other. It was Inkatink and Yoshka, but it's now just Inkatink and Spolash there. You can see him, and you suddenly hear above crumbling and crackling, and a 5-foot cube of earth just falls from the cave ceiling, partially blocking off the Belvari and Diamondback from Spolash and Inkatink. That's now difficult terrain. You've got a 5-foot barrier blocking half of the hallway between you guys.
I'm sorry. It can't get between me and Spolash. I'm currently tying Spolash up.
Yep, I apologize. So, I mean, Belvari on the one side and Inkatink and Diamondback with Spolash on the other side.
Okay.
And could you remind me too? Did you resolve with Josh the placement of that thing Inkatink did with the ground?
He did spike growth.
Yeah.
And it was trying to a 20-foot radius circle, so it's that big circle, and it's as depicted. It had to let you guys be able to get out.
So you imagine him casting it in front of us instead of behind us, like as we were running north, him casting it to the side and in front. I'm just looking at, because this is a really helpful map.
Sure.
As opposed to beside us.
Josh, what was your intent? Oh, I can wait. Please.
So I had just mentioned on Slack, like I imagined this tunnel to be a lot narrower when we came through, which maybe was just, I missed some bit that you said. So I was surprised, that's not guarding us at all. Oh, crud.
So Inkatink's design was to cover their backs.
From who?
I was imagining that from people trying to come after us out the exit. So I was imagining a much more narrow, I thought we were running through fairly narrow tunnels the whole way out. I didn't realize that what I was casting was just kind of in the middle of a really large area where people could just go around it. I had imagined that I was things like that's the simplest way that I could put it.
Okay, so the big main room. I'm sorry, Josh. Hold on one second. We can't hear you.
To do the second one as well.
The question is sort of why could.
Yeah, I had tried to basically wait until everyone went past me both times so that I'd be able to everything behind us. There's no way for people to get to us without taking damage.
Okay. The one you actually waited on and reacted to everybody getting past you was when you cast it in that room full of people. Then you ran forward, but you
used a reaction. Yeah.
Yeah. You weren't the last one out, and then you cast the new one, and you needed room for the others to be able to run by. And I thought you were saying protect you from the mass of the Orevan townfolk who would be coming towards you. But I mentioned, hey, there's a couple hundred people here. So I thought you were saying block those people as best you can. But if you were saying block the people in the ceremony as best you can, I'm cool with that too. You tell me.
If there were people that still had to run by, then it seems like that's just the way it is. And it's not ideal, but that's D&D, baby.
Okay, fair enough.
It just seems like I didn't even know anyone was up north. It seems like if we had the map, I imagine Josh would have put it right at the mouth of this tunnel to try that.
Right. Though some of you guys had to get into the tunnel still.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he would have just waited to cast it until we got through there.
Sure, but
I'm not trying
Done
to
is
make
done,
it easy
man.
for us. I'm just
No,
trying
no, I
to
get it. Yeah.
take advantage of some ambiguity that seems like was used to your advantage. Or, sorry, to the Orevin's advantage.
Sure. That totally makes sense to me. I totally get what you're saying. In general, the room that y'all were in was a big domed cavern, 60 feet, and on the wall of that was an exit to the special place, and the main entrance was about 50 feet away from you in that cavern. So
Okay.
that's approximately.
So were there people in that big cavern while we were running through?
They're milling about doing stuff. I think I described them as setting up stuff, getting ready for celebration, stuff like that.
I thought okay.
Many
yeah.
more. You thought what?
I thought that everybody was in the cavern that we were in, where the ceremony was happening.
So
I definitely wouldn't have tried to tie up the guy if I thought that there were Oreven townspeople in the very next cavern.
So
but it's okay.
And we can
Diamondback
hear
didn't
them.
understand.
Well, we can hear them now, so you can abort.
Yeah,
the
they're here
plan.
now.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah,
abort.
I get
yeah.
it.
There were only about 16 kids and then about a dozen adults in that smaller room that we were in, and the whole place was described as a couple hundred people. So that they're doing their business. They're farming and making rocks and stuff.
And based on the lack of hideous inbreeding deformations amongst the populace of a few dozen people in the room, one would logically deduce the presence of others.
Well, so the guy. Okay, I will continue to provide useful maps. I hope. My intent is to give the maps to help us see, but also to. But I don't want to use it for the audio, as I said. So I'm going to keep describing this way, and hopefully that'll help reduce surprises in the future. Okay. So the Oreven guard uses mold earth, that's the spell that he's using, and he drops a 5-foot cube of dirt, rock stuff from above. It partially obscures the way from between Inkatink, Diamondback, and Spolash, and Bolvari on the other side. Inkatink, it is now your turn.
Inkatink grabs some rags and takes his claw and begins forcing these rags into the mouth and down the back of the throat of Spolash, and fully gags him. And then he takes out some components and casts Alter Self and makes Spolash look like Yoshka.
All right. And then
I
then
believe
he-
it's 1d6 some kind of damage if you can't breathe.
And he looks up at
Sort of Constitution.
Diamondback and just kind of kicks his head towards the door.
Sorry, real quickly.
And
Inkatink, that's a 2nd level spell that you haven't been taught yet. Cantrips until
I have components for it.
Yes, but you haven't been taught how to use it. Remember, Inkatink can use cantrips at will, like he's good at those. We talked about that as a racial thing. You can identify all cantrips, you can find them anywhere, but you have to be shown recipes and to be able to cast high level things. The Kenku don't really mix and match that way.
Okay, in that case, he makes eye contact with Spolash, and he crams this down the back of his throat so that it blocks his, windpipe. And he pulls out a needle and some thread that he's been using with Nino, and he real quick sews his mouth.
Okay. Belvari, it is your turn.
So glad I'm not in the room right now.
I suppose I should use my reaction, and Diamondback, you should too. And I say, and can Diamondback use his reaction because he's got the thing on him, and we can run? You haven't used your reaction from Yoshka's spell.
No, that's
immediate.
immediately after Jared casts the spell.
Oh, we don't get it as a reaction?
No.
Right.
Okay, all right.
All right. It is now Belvari's turn. You're
Okay.
crouched as a lion. However, 2 giant wolf spiders are near you now. They've kind of skittered towards you.
Okay, so I'm 20 feet from Spolash.
You are.
5 of those feet are difficult terrain.
Yes, you could pounce over them, I would say.
Over
the
making
5 foot
them
like
not
edge.
difficult, or
Yeah, you wouldn't be traversing it on the ground if you're like jumping,
Gotcha.
leaping as a lion.
Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and take my leap attack. Let me get up lion. Lion. Get my rolls out.
Pounce. If the lion moves at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and then hits with a claw attack on the same turn, he has to make a saving throw, which I think I have disadvantage on with Spolash because he's
Yes.
paralyzed.
Yeah. Oh, I think he.
Well, he also
automatically
has
fails strength.
Okay.
and he
that
has
right?
disadvantage on attack all ability checks from the heat metal
Okay.
as well.
Is there another 20? Ah, there it is. Okay, so I'm rolling my attack with advantage, correct? Because because there's people within 5 feet, and he's paralyzed, and
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Just roll 15 dice.
Yeah. Can I get double advantage? Okay. So 15 plus 5, so 20 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Okay, so that is claw attack.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Right, is that? Yeah, and then bite, since he's prone. Claw is 1d6 plus 3. Where is it? There it is. 1d6. Okay, so 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll take my bite attack. Because he is prone. And that is my bonus action.
Okay,
18 plus 5 to hit.
it does hit.
And that is 1d8 plus 3. 8. Is this 8? Yeah, no, that's 10. 8. 8. There. No, that's 10. 8 and 10 look the same to me. There it is. 5 plus 3. So 8 damage.
Okay, he is in not. You can tell he's not in good shape. That is. This lion has pounced on him and really just rakes his flesh. I mean, he's tearing into him pretty hard.
And then that is 20 of my 150. No, because I use a bonus action, but 20 of my 50 movement.
Okay.
I will then go 20 feet back. Oh yeah, I'll go 30 feet back and be right next to the wolf spiders.
Okay, 5 of that is difficult terrain.
Okay.
So I don't.
That's 10. So I'll go back to where I was.
Okay, that sounds good. You are now there. Spolash is in terrible condition. Belvari does this excellent pounce on him. Another guard comes around and does the same thing the first guard does. Drops another 5-foot cube of rock and earth and stuff in the same spot. It's now a full 5-foot tall mound blocking the entire egress. Belvari's on the other side of it with the, what do you call it, with the giant wolf spiders. Inkatink and Yoshka are on this side of it with Spolash. The 5-foot wall, fully blocking the exit. Excuse me. An Orevan townsman darts past the entrance again, does another eldritch blast. This time shooting at. I will roll my die and do 1 to 3 is Diamondback, 4 to 6 is Inkatink. It is Diamondback. He crushes these, crackles that black eldritch blast energy, rolls a 23. Does that hit?
23 is going to hit Diamondback.
All right.
Can somebody check the stream?
Oh, man.
I just went on there and it's like I don't see any video except for Tull's face. I see Patrick's face in 4 gray squares.
Attention, viewership. Remain calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
It says we are streaming. Let me. It may have been because it may be like, there we go. You know what? I can't maximize a window. I bet the audio still went through and the video was grayed out.
Nice.
That's fine. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think LT's been commenting in the
now,
chat.
It seems to not be streaming though for me. When I got there, it was this gray cubes, and now it's. But that might just be me.
Give it a sec. Okay.
There we are.
Yeah, okay, great. Hopefully some audio too. I also hit the record, so whatever. Okay. Yep, there it is. Great. So, Diamondback, that does hit you. It does, on a hit, you take 1d10 force damage. Will you pass me a d10, Dwight? Or somebody? Yep, I got it here. Diamondback takes 6 damage from that Eldritch Blast.
Well,
You
ouch.
just got 5 hit points.
He knocks off the special magic shield thing that Yoshka put on it.
Yep.
+1.
And then, Diamondback, roll me a d20 to see if your concentration on the heat metal spell is broken.
Right, and this is a intelligence check?
No, it's just a straight d20.
Really?
It is. If the damage were higher, it would make it much higher, but it's 50-50. A 1 to 10 is you keep concentration. 11 to 20, you fail. You break concentration.
Well, I got a 10.
Okay, keep
It's
concentration.
strange to me that 1 to 10 would be that I keep concentration.
It's 50-50, but I'll just check real quick.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like you can just say something and it can be that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm
Yeah, that's
doing too legit. Oops.
The DC is 8, and then it's +1 for every
I'll be right back, guys.
piece of damage that you take. For every.
so it
point
was
of damage.
DC 9.
Yeah.
And it's not an intelligence check or a
No.
wisdom check
you
or
just,
anything?
It's just like
Just 50-50.
yeah.
Okay, well I got a
It's the same
10
as
and
a
that
death
beats
save.
9, so
So it's if you take damage while concentrating, you roll a Constitution savings throw.
okay.
So
that's what I
that's
thought.
that. DC
Some
10
kind of saving throw.
or half the damage taken, whichever's higher.
Yeah, so
Okay.
then in that case I rolled a 12.
Okay, so you're good.
Phew.
Great. So
The rules almost never have you roll a straight d20 if it's something happening to a character.
yeah,
it's almost
I thought it
always
was like a
some
death
stat.
save type of thing. Okay, but it's a Constitution savings throw on a DC 10 or
Sweet.
half the damage, whichever's higher.
I love it.
Okay, that was the townsman who blasted you eldritchly. Next, and this is going to be. I have to make a judgment call here. Jared, you emerged and said, "Hold the
Entrance.
entrance."
Assuming I saw somebody just because
Yeah.
that's what it looks like on the map.
Yeah, I want you to make a. You do see some people. Please make a deception check with advantage because you're spell-lashy.
Okay.
Yeah, just do a deception check with advantage, and I'm going to give it a. DC. This is interesting because it contradicts what they just heard from Spolash. And And so I have to figure out. I'm trying to figure out because he said get in here.
Yeah.
And then he emerged and says hold it. So I'm just trying to figure out what they are gonna.
I could try to clarify.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Wait, did Yoshika see the stone fall and collapse and close the tunnel behind him?
No.
Okay.
And that's happening between Belvari and Spolash. So it's like down the tunnel a fair bit. Yeah, so this is all happening really quickly, and you come out. So why don't you give me advantage on a DC 14 for this guy.
Okay. And I imagine I would have, if there were multiple, whoever looks most captain-y at first glance, talk to him.
So there are a couple of people here, and you're gonna have to roll to deceive each one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because each one gets their own whatever.
Natural 20.
Nice.
You definitely deceive the guy. Okay, this soldier says to you, yes, sir, and salutes you and positions himself right at the entrance, ready. Okay, that's all you need for right there. Talid, it is your turn.
I run.
Talid runs. How you gonna dash? You trying to get far away?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that, like, this Spolash came out. In fact, that would make me dash even harder. Like, the commander of the army of monsters comes out and is like, hey, instead of going in here, don't go in here.
Yeah.
The next step is him just saying, murder that guy over there. Like, what?
Yeah.
I am going to dash, yes.
And they can see you. You're not super far away. It's a forest between you.
Yeah.
But you dash north, continue north, and
They
go,
can see you Forrest Gumping into the horizon.
Is that 60 feet?
60 feet. Yeah.
And he still has the benefit of the.
That's right. Expeditious retreat. You could do that too.
So you
90.
So that's 90.
I will take that. Yes.
So Talid is going to take the monkey and run, as it were.
What?
It's a song.
It's sort of a song.
Money.
Let me see. And I got to pull up this guy's stats here because it matters.
How much gumption his mama gave him?
This one, this guy's dumb as dirt.
That's the kind of enemy we want.
Maybe. I think. Oops. He is, or it is, unable to understand what Spolash has said, and its wrangler has not had a turn to control yet. So here's what you see. After these go, and blowing by you is, and then coming into the tunnel, so you guys in the tunnel, Belvari, you'll see this, is a large-ish, around the size of, Gulb, beefy, looks a lot like an ape, but with 4 arms and 2 legs, so 6 appendages total. And it just is angry and roaring. It's got an iron collar and just bursts through, just pushes past you and goes in. He's not like attacking you. He's angrily going into the tunnel as a brute, unthinking beast. It couldn't be deceived by your command. It just wasn't.
Did you
aware.
use your reaction? I think you did.
I did already.
Belvari, you see running towards, in your direction, right? You see this thing running straight towards you, and it gets. Sorry, I'm looking for it. There's Diamondback. Okay. It gets all the way to Could have sworn. Where did I? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Give me one sec. Okay. It runs towards you, and it is about also about 10 feet from you, Belvari. Like I said, it looks like an ape, kind of, except it has 2 extra arms and big fangs, iron collar around its throat, and takes up a lot of the space that it's in. It has as a bonus action, it can move up to its speed towards a hostile creature that it can see. It runs at you, Belvari, covering the rest of the remaining distance between you and it. It has a multi-attack. It is going to attack Belvari. It cannot easily see Diamondback and Inkatink because they're very obscured behind this 5-foot wall of dirt mound, and it's going to attack Belvari.
So it didn't use its action to close the distance?
It did not. It has as a bonus action, it can move its speed towards. This is the thing Gulb used to use to run at people in battle. It's called aggressive. And let's see.
He knocked down the wall for us. Can you just dodge? Didn't let its inertia. Obstacle.
This creature gets 1 attack with each of its 4 arms and a bite. He sees this lion and is just enraged and starts trying to pummel it wildly, not with any meaningful strategy, just raging at you. Let's do first one. We're going to do a claw attack on this lion. Does an 18 hit?
It does.
All right. Will you pass me a D4?
Lord, it'd be nice to be a lion with barding, but alas, not yet.
No, that's good. It does 5 damage with that hit. It reaches out with a different hand and just takes another big old beefy swing at you. And this time a 22, which should also hit.
Mm-hmm.
Doing only 4 damage. The next fist just kind of... This is one of the upper 2 arms. Just pulls down on you. Uh-oh. I rolled it badly. And I rolled it badly again. I rolled it that way. Okay. Does a 14 hit?
It does.
It does, okay. And it does 6 damage. And then that's 3. And it takes that other fist and swings at you with, again, a 22. I rolled an 18. Doing 7 more damage. Finally, it's used its claws, cranked at you, and latches down on you with a bite, tries to at least. This is its last attack for this. Let me see. 17. 21.
Yep.
Man, this guy.
How you doing?
I don't know. How much did he...
And he does 5 damage.
Still alive. Thanks to the 5.
You're a lion right now, right?
Yep, still a lion.
Your entrails were about to be outrails.
Yeah, I think they are. Thankfully, the lion just disappears when he dies. So.
Okay, great.
So this kind of raging gorilla-like creature is just roaring and not... All it sees is the lion and it needs to kill something. And that's what it went for. Let's see.
I would have lost my line if I didn't get your 5 hit points.
From down the tunnel...
Go a little ways.
From down the tunnel, Inkatink and Yoshka, you see Spolash's valet.
Diamondback? Inkatink and Diamondback.
I'm sorry, what did I say?
Yoshka.
Yes, Inkatink and Diamondback. I'm sorry. Inkatink and Diamondback.
Yes, Diamondback. Okay.
You see Spolash's valet run...
With car keys.
That's right. Run down the tunnel straight towards you. he, seems to have been, before you knew it was Spolash, taking care of things on Spolash's behalf. He's just doing stuff. I'm going to use the word.
Factotum.
What's that?
A factotum.
What that means?
Like a guy that does things for you.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'll look that up. That's great.
I believe the word you're looking for is impresario, but continue.
I will refer to him as Spolash's aide de camp. He's the guy who just makes stuff happen on Spolash's behalf as his commander. He comes around the corner. Not comes around the corner. He pokes out from the corner and just takes a dead sprint straight at you. At Spolash, actually, but you're all right there. As he's sprinting, he runs, and you can see him grind some material into his hands, and black sucks in from the walls around him from everywhere, and you see a shimmering black line make some strange movements on the ground right below Spolash. The aide takes a flying leap at Spolash, grabs him, the line turns into a rectangle, and the two of them fall through the dimension door to you know not where.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
I will describe it first in D&D terms, because I just did narratively, but...
Did I just fall into a spell?
They did. Spolash's aide-de-camp ran at you with his movement, and when as he ran, he cast Dimension Door, which started to open under Spolash, and he can use the Dimension Door and take one creature with him through it.
Okay.
Which he did to grab onto Spolash and fall through the door.
Which means that we each get one reaction attack, opportunity attack.
Yeah, I get an opportunity attack, right?
That's an interesting call. I might say.
Yeah, I don't know if we do actually, because Spolash is not retreating. Like if somebody drags you away from me, I don't get an opportunity attack on you, but I might get it on the other guy if he's walking out of a door that he created magically out of my space.
And the question for me is are they gone as they pass through the plane of the door into a different dimension? Or do you see them retreating? You see the difference? Because otherwise they're not leaving your space, like pulling away from you. You know what? I'm going to give you... Yeah, do it. Take your... let's go in your favor.
I don't... Either way.
Yeah, if you want, you see this guy coming, you're probably...
And it's a melee attack.
It's a melee attack. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Of course, they're all going to roll criticals, and the guy's just going to tackle him into the door. Thank goodness you're safe. Ah, you're dead! Grapple!
Yeah, no, this is a... here comes the dagger. That's good. That's real bad.
Who are you attacking?
Oh,
Spolash
I
or
mean...
the guy?
I can't... Oh.
They're both...
Normally, if somebody... I mean, as far as I understand it, if somebody is carried not through their own motive power out of your range, that does not trigger an opportunity attack.
In this case, it does.
Awesome. Spolash, then. I knife Spolash.
Wait,
I attempt to knife Spolash, but it doesn't hit.
The person that's did the Dimension Door, is the Dimension Door concentration? Because if it is, we could try and hit him. I mean, I'm not in the situation, but just like... You could hit him and get...
It is not concentration. It just opens the door.
Oh.
He doesn't have to focus on keeping it there.
Right.
Okay.
But this is only going to be a 10 to hit. So.
Okay. Does not hit. Spellwash.
Yeah.
Was that with advantage?
Oh, with advantage. Let me just roll this again.
Because he can't do anything.
Natural 20. Natural 20. Natural 20.
That's even worse. That's a 9 to hit.
That does hit. No, I'm just kidding. And then, Inkatink, do you want to do the same?
Yeah, Inkatink stabs Spolash with his beak for 5 damage.
Would you roll the hit?
I did. It was 24.
Okay. That does hit. And you did 5 damage?
Yep.
Okay. Good. In the sense of recorded. Okay.
and he spits the blood from his beak. He spits it out into a little vial that he's holding in his hand, and he looks up at Diamondback with blood dripping from his beak, and then he flicks his beak over that way, and you see some of Spolash's blood sling off of it.
Oh,
I'll let you do that as part of your next turn. That's a little too much
fair.
for a reaction to
Fair.
Spolash leaving.
quick question, completely unrelated, but if you put the blood and the ingredients in the thing finder, would you be able to find Spolash's thing?
Let's find out, maybe.
I think that'd be a great idea.
I'm just saying, I'm in my
After we
campaigns,
found
I'm like the guy
Diamondback.
that thinks of the worst stuff that works. Like,
Well,
Jacob, we think of the worst stuff. I'm doing my
I don't
eyebrows.
think so.
another
Worst
Orvan
stuff competition.
townsman comes to Eldritch Blast. 1 to 3 is Diamondback. It is a 3 for Diamondback again. Eldritch Blast is a. He rolls a 16. Does that hit?
16 is going to hit Diamondback.
All right.
Shirtless.
6 damage.
Should have put on a
Ouch.
shirt,
All
Like,
right. It is now the. Sorry. Whoops, I did the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. This guy has also not gone through, but the slipping past you again. Yoshka as Spolash. And I should have given you an opportunity to attack on that Girolon, that ape guy, if you wanted one. It would have probably blown your cover.
I had already used my reaction, so.
Okay. Okay, I see. Okay. Also, another dumb creature, dumb in the, it's just not able to be deceived, and its handler, whatever. A giant mongoose slips past you, just kind of weaseling around past you into the cave. It is now the. Sorry. Another Orvan fighter pulls 5 more feet of trash between Diamondback and Inkatink on the one side and Belvari on the other side. So now what you've got is it's kind of like an L-shaped wall. You can scramble over one part as difficult terrain, one part's blocked. You need to exit if you're going to exit or figure something else out. That guy has gone. Toll, it is your turn.
That is such a hospitable thing to say.
Toll, it's your turn.
Okay. A couple of questions. Is Neno still on my back?
She can be.
I think
Or
so.
on my...
Okay. She would not have gotten off, she thinks.
Okay.
Yeah, we are both expeditiously retreating until this last half a second.
I think I lost my expeditious retreat when I cast Wall of Thorns because that's a concentration.
That's right. And also...
But
Sorry, go
What?
ahead.
I was just going to say, I kind of like asked to retcon it though, so that I used all my movement and then I cast Wall of Thorns because I didn't realize it was a
Yeah,
concentration
that works for
when
me.
I cast it.
Also, as a point of order, somebody brought up for me, Neno. Enjoy. I should have asked when Toll picked you up. When somebody does something like that to your character, you, being a creature with will, can object. Were you willing for him to carry you? Okay, great. I forgot to say
I
that.
thought we addressed that. I thought we did, but okay.
Okay, so Toll, what do you want to do?
How many people did I hit with my Wall of Thorns? I'm just curious.
You don't have an exact count, but
Oh, yeah, he wants to roll that damage.
Oh yeah, did I even roll damage?
you did not. There was a group of people. You hit in the neighborhood of, you would say, about 10, so 8 or 12 maybe, Iron Bell, and about 2/3 of that, so 6 to 8 creatures of various kinds that are caught in the Wall of Thorns. Rah! And it's all razor sharp and brutal to them.
Cool. So should I roll damage for that?
You may roll damage for that. What I think I would have you do is, if you would like to roll, you could roll once for just everybody, and if you would like to mitigate the chances of getting a very low roll or high roll, I'll let you roll twice an average.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that action. I think it was 78.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah. They have to make a dex save. On a failed save, they take half as much damage. Or on a successful save, they take half damage. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Get on with it.
78.
78 damage.
And just like that, global thermonuclear annihilation was achieved.
Okay,
Wait,
25 on the
therm-
first one.
What? Why did he say those three?
Global scale.
Thermonuclear
Thermonuclear.
Oh, thermal.
annihilation.
God. Is this
Wouldn't you like to play a game?
Ah, it looks different.
Okay, 25 and 29, so 27.
Okay.
She just
And I will roll a 16. I'm rolling for their save. A 16 and a 5, so 9-ish, 10. Actually 11, I guess. Which fails for you. So okay, they fail. They took 27 damage each for those. Everybody who's in that loop of horror. Okay. Good. We're almost through.
Oh, I didn't actually move for my turn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yet, though.
Yeah, I apologize. Yep. What do you do?
And I can see Orvan still, or is he gone and out of sight?
Sorry, you can see the entrance behind you.
I think it's Talon.
Or
Talon.
the child? Yeah.
You're Talon. You're following him, and he's about 100 feet ahead of you. You had just caught up to him, and Neno had smashed Expeditious Retreat on him. So you can see him running, and he's covering 90 feet during this time that you're going to be covering 60 feet if you dash.
Okay. I think I will cast Message,
Okay.
and I will tell him, you should find somewhere to hide. We will come get you when this is all taken care of, but don't go too far.
Can I reply?
You can with message, right?
Alright.
Yeah, I think so.
He's gonna reply, okay, and just sort of, well, it's not his turn, so he can't divert, but he's sort of getting ready to divert away,
Okay. To go try to find somewhere to hide.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds
Sorry,
good.
how far away did you say he was?
Which
90
will be
feet?
his
About 90
next
feet.
action.
90 feet. Okay, yeah, that's within range. All right. And then I will use my movement, I guess, to... I don't want to mess up Yoshka.
Well, you don't know that's Yoshka. You see Spolash.
Oh, true. I
Outside
don't know
the
that's
door.
Yoshka. Okay, so Toll probably does not want to go that way.
You see Spolash and 3 Iron Bell outside the door.
Let me look at something really quick. Yeah, that's a full action. All right. I will just move in the direction that Talad is going, and I will try to make myself scarce and keep an eye on what's going on with what I think is Spolash and the Iron Bell that are there. Considering I already used my action for message, I can't really attack anyone. So I'll try to take the tactical route. And
Okay.
did they see me? Were they aware of me at all?
They saw you run away, but they
Yeah, okay.
were obeying Spolash to get in here.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to take advantage of their misplaced attention and hide in a bush or behind a tree or something nearby.
Okay, towards Talid, but not too far?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Yoshka, roll me another deception check on an Iron Bell. With advantage.
22.
Okay, you do deceive. This Iron Bell soldier seems surprised and taken aback, and has already, because he was obeying before, sent his Giralon, the ape creature, in. But he says, "Yes, sir," and does, you can't tell exactly what, but he's clearly doing something, and stands at attention. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He stands at attention and seems to wait there by the entrance with the other soldier. Another townsman casts Eldritch Blast, this time at Inkatink. Inkatink, oops, on the side. Does a 6 hit you?
It does not.
Okay. And
Does it hit the wall?
oh, you know what? I'll give it a try. Yeah, sure. Let's see what happens. On a, I'm gonna go.
But Eldritch Blast does necrotic damage. All it would do is turn the wall gross.
Oh, it's not using like force. Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, let's see. On a 1, it turns the wall gross. It was a 19. Okay.
It cleans the wall
Does it-
slightly.
Yeah.
That's right. Neno, it is now your turn. And just to give you insight into what we didn't do, Spolash did not. He went, but you can't see anything.
Okay. Did I get swooped away when Toll ran away?
You're riding Toll.
I was riding him. Okay. Well, that changes things. Okay. All right. I'm pulling out my knife with one hand, futilely, because I have no intention to stab Toll. This is the thing I can do. And I prep a hellish rebuke, and I look back over my shoulder, like anticipating Spolash zapping us or something. When he doesn't, you'll have to tell me how these fit into the categories, but when he doesn't immediately attack us or chase us or something, my insight kicks in and I start wondering what's up.
So. Okay.
I can't tell much because he looks just like Spolash, coming from where Spolash was going to come from, chasing us, but then he stops, and so now I want to roll and see what I can puzzle out.
Give me an insight with. This is going to be a DC. I'm going to let you check to see if you notice anything suspicious. Is how we'll do it, because Spolash is here, and you know that he's just. You could have heard him shout this command to basically not let any of your friends out. I'll let you see if that seems suspicious to you that he's not coming after you, but it's going to be a DC 23.
I rolled
It's
a
hard.
14 with a +4.
Okay,
So I'm at
18. So you didn't particularly notice anything, but you're wary of what's going on there. Okay, one more time, Yoshka, another deception check with advantage.
24.
This guy, the last Iron Bell that's right there in front of the door, does the same thing as the other two, and just like the last one, he does a thing you don't quite recognize what he's doing, but he's clearly doing something with his equipment that looks maybe magical. You're not sure. Another wolf spider, giant wolf spider that was about to go in, instead just kind of skitters impatiently near the entrance, holding it and ready. Okay, Diamondback, it's your turn.
Deprived of my prey. How far am I from the blocked area of the tunnel?
2, 3, 4 feet. It
It's
happens
right up
behind
there.
you. Yeah.
Okay, so I scramble over it and stop as soon as I can see what's on the other side.
On the other side, just ahead of you, you see a horribly mangled lion. Beleaguered is probably a better word. Lion. And a very angry Girlon. This gorilla with 4 arms, raging, having just beleaguered a lion.
So it's one bad guy and Belvari.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That I see.
And then you also see 2 giant wolf spiders on the ceiling further away. Not too much further. Another 10 feet away from him.
3 big, nasty, hairy beast monsters.
Yes.
Belvari, who's looking wounded. Myself, and behind me, my Kenku friend.
Yes. If you travel,
Here's what's going to happen.
The damage, the hurt Belvari is about 10 feet in front of you.
With this bad guy standing over him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Diamondback is going to cast the following spell, which I can only do thanks to the components you gave us at the beginning of this episode. So
The components
you
searched for.
Thanks a lot, Mr. DM. Diamondback is going to cast Fog Cloud on a point 20 feet in front of him.
Okay.
Fog Cloud creates a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. The sphere spreads around corners. Its area is heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration, which is 1 hour, or until a wind of moderate or greater speed disperses it, which I have a hard time imagining inside of this cavern.
I will help you imagine. I'm just kidding.
So that it's going to be completely heavily obscured. Nobody can see anything.
Yeah.
Unless by magical means.
And from where you are, having just scrambled over this wall, you're casting it just past the elbow of this bend. So there's a straight stretch of a few feet, 10 feet to Belvari, where it kind of bends to the left ahead of you, it kind of upward, and just past that at the end of your line of sight. In this turn, you're doing that. That'll cause the fog to spread. You said it's a 20-foot radius, right?
Yeah, so it should be 40 feet of the tunnel should be covered by fog.
So that'll cause the fog to go up to the wall, around the bend, and then most of the way to the exit.
Okay. And then I'm going to move. So I suppose moving over this 5 foot area of rough terrain is going to cost me 10 feet of movement.
That's right.
So I shall have 20 feet of movement remaining after that. So I move 20 feet into the tunnel. Hopefully I don't bump into the monster that's in there on the way. I'm going to be, back, one hand on the wall, trying to stay pretty small. Diamondback's a skinny guy. And
he's not wearing a
my
shirt.
bonus action
That's right.
is
Won't get
also
snagged.
not wearing a shirt.
That's right.
Heavily
Makes it
obscured
stealthy.
means that they. I have this question. Do you think that they would be able to see my flickering eternal flame on my awesome shoulders through the heavily obscured fog? I think heavily obscured means that you cannot see anything through it.
But can't you just drop it as a free action?
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Here's what they can do.
Try it and see.
They can't
Wow.
see. They can't see you per se, but they can see a light source in the fog. So
you know what? Yeah, I have more. Diamondback has more sense than this.
Okay.
When he casts the spell, he extinguishes the cool flames on his shoulders, and goes into super stealth ninja mode, and is sort of flattened against the wall and moves his 20 feet that way.
Okay.
Uses a bonus action to do the 4th of 10 heat metal damages to Spolash,
Okay.
which this text of this spell does not specify any limitations on where. He could be in another dimension and
So,
this would still work.
More importantly,
As long as I maintain concentration.
More importantly, the rule is that a spell effect continues if it's a lasting effect without regard to the range of the spell.
Yeah.
That's an explicit rule. So it does.
And this
still
is a
apply.
spell effect.
Yep. Go for it.
I hope that guy tries to help him take this metal thing off and burns his hands really
I think
bad.
it's attached to his arm. I don't think he's.
It's great
I think it is his own.
because wherever he is, there's two things happening.
nice.
Spolash is burning and Spolash is wildly gesticulating and making noises, but this guy would have no reason to believe that it's for any reason other than because he's burning.
So my 2d8, I rolled an 8 and a 6, so that's 14 delicious points of Spolash damage.
Now,
Smells like bacon, boys!
one thing for you to know, just a fun thought that you could keep in mind is, even if he's being healed or being whatever, the hand is still hot. So his aide de camp could, for example, be making ramen on it while he's trying to.
Yeah.
I
Meaning
imagine
the aide de
that's
camp
happening
could be
'cause the
sitting
DM
there
said,
actively healing this guy, and he's just still dying actively.
All right. That was Diamondback. It is now Yoshka's turn, if that is your real name.
I was just real quick. I was looking up opportunity attacks. It does specifically say in there that you can see.
That you
so.
can see. Yeah. I had a. If he kept the flame on, I was going to allow them to have a disadvantaged.
Like strike out at it.
What do you call it? Contended stealth versus perception.
Gotcha.
But since he took it off, they can't see him at all. Okay. Who did I say? Yoshika.
Could you describe, so is it like I came out of a rock, or is it just like an empty door frame?
Neither. It's
Just came
just
out of nothing.
space.
Magical.
Okay.
It's shimmering a little bit with people coming in and out, or stuff coming in and out, and you stepped, because of your movement, how much you had, you stepped just out of it and couldn't go any further. Like your your back is to the thing.
Okay. And there is the map right? Are there 3 soldier guys there with maybe one of their pets left?
There
Or the
is
beasts?
one giant wolf spider outside the wall, and 3 iron bell. So I'm sorry, outside the shimmering area, and 3 iron bell. They're all standing with you, focused on the door that you're standing at.
Okay, and it's like up loosely wooded, like here in the picture?
I mean, it's enough that there's a canopy overhead. There's always a canopy overhead.
Yeah.
Trees are fairly tall, so you can see Duke Forest, some kind of thing like that.
Okay. And how high is the bramble wall?
If I remember correctly, those
Do you know, Toll?
are 14 feet to 20 feet.
It's like too high to see.
Yeah, it's a big, dense, terrible thing.
Okay. So
You do see to the north, Talid, Toll, and Neno running, away and kind of beginning to hide or something.
So behind it looks to me, if I'm looking at the map, I'm just trying to get my bearings here. At first I thought the thorn wall was completely blocking the army's access to the entrance, but now it looks like it's more Toll just positioned it to kind of be as in the way of him as possible.
It makes
just
kind of
go
it makes kind of a U shape, so it actually comes up around the other side as well. But you have to be able to see on the map, and I'll edit this in post so it sounds better. Okay.
Toll was trying to hide. So does that make it so he can't see me?
He was trying to hide himself?
Yeah, him and Neno.
Okay.
He was trying to hide behind a tree or behind a bush or something.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you meant with the wall. Yes, but he's been standing there since before you did that stuff. So he's...
Oh, right.
Okay.
But remember, though, they can run around it and go into the thing.
Well, I'll just kind of get off this map for a minute, and with the theater of the mind, you can help me. Yoshiko wants to both talk and move. He wants to move towards kind of wherever the entrance of the
horseshoe
wall is.
Yeah, it makes a
From
horseshoe, and you
landing.
can, just to say on this, you can see half of it on the map, the horseshoe. The other half just reflects on the other side.
So maybe I would move first. If I go like 30 feet, does that get me up near the mouth of that?
Yeah, if you run straight north from where you are, if you move straight north 30 feet, you'll be at the mouth of this horseshoe. You could move further, but you would be at the mouth of it.
Okay. Well, I'm moving towards the mouth of that, and as I'm going there, I'll probably glance and see if I can see the army. Is it like, can I see the army over the wall?
No.
Are we going uphill,
The wall
or is it
completely
flat?
obscures your vision.
Okay.
You can tell that there are some people and stuff in the wall. You can both hear and see a little bit into the wall. It's brambles, right? You can imagine sort of a Sleeping Beauty-esque kind of the big, thick, hard to get through magical wall.
Okay. Well, I'm going to run towards about the mouth of the bramble wall and yell out to I'm going to try to... Well, okay. Let me separate what I see on the map from what my guy's experiencing. Do I have any reason to believe there are people on the other side of that wall? He said there's an army. Can I hear guys running up, the clanging of running soldiers or anything?
Not especially. I mean, you see a big wall. There's creatures and people and stuff in the wall. Some of them went in.
Okay.
He didn't describe it as, be careful, there's a couple of guys out here.
Yeah, he did. Okay, I'm just going to call out as loud as I can then around the mouth. I'm going to say, change your plans! In Spolash's voice. Change your plans! Kill the Orovin, they're coming out hot! Hold your beasts! Wait here! Fire on my word!
Okay.
And then I'm gonna...
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. It is now... Okay. From out of the mouth of the cave.
I'll mention too, just to say beforehand,
Uh-huh.
I'm holding, if you'll let me, either a reaction or a free action. If I see anybody running specifically towards Talad and Toll, I'm going to say a short word to them.
Okay.
If you let me.
That can be a reaction.
Yeah, I'll do that. You see Diamondback. You don't see. You hear. And Belvar, you also hear. The wolf spiders start skittering again, and they run out and leave the mouth of the exit. They have now run out of the exit.
How high?
You hear them skittering. Sorry?
How high up does the mouth of the cave exit go? Is it like a 20-foot arc?
No, it's more like maybe 12 to 15
Okay.
in various places. It kind of up and down.
Okay.
It
12 to
looks sort of
15.
naturally hewn.
Okay.
Perhaps by some underground water. Okay. So those wolf spiders, you can hear them retreating away. An Orovin townsman takes another pot shot at... only Inkatink is within sight now. And does a 7 hit you?
It does not.
Does not, okay. The Eldritch Blast crackles next to you, and for consistency, A 1. The
Becomes all slimy.
the wall itself, there are bugs and like centipedes and such that just start writhing out of the surface where the Eldritch Blast hits, and they fall dead. Just and you, Inkatink, perhaps it flashes through your mind that could have been you. Okay.
I always wanted centipedes to emerge from my flesh.
There is also an Orvan guard. He, I'm going to roll a die for him because there's only one of you left. And is he going to try to block you off further, or is he going to try to attack you? Let me see. He is going to try to block you off further. He does a
Ah, you fool! You fell victim to the classic blunder!
a land war.
In Asia.
Literally in this case. He casts his mold earth, and another bit of this falls. Inkatink, it is now, there's like a, 12-ish foot, as I said, arch above you with a 10-foot wall. It will take your movement of this turn, if you use all of it, to scramble up and get down.
I reject your reality, and I insert my own. I pull out my glow stick, and I crack it. No,
That's
okay.
from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Isn't it?
I mean, he's famous
So,
for using other
is it my
perceptions.
turn?
Yeah, that's good. Sorry, I was just telling you what you were. Oh no, I'm sorry. It is your turn now. Yep.
Okay. Inkatink opens up he just makes eye contact with the guy, reaches open his pouch, reaches in and pulls out two things. A little glass vial, and he spits Spolash's blood into it. And then in the other, you see that he's holding an object, and you just see him float up off the ground. And as he rises up off the ground, he says, "Sorry, darling, it's been real fun, but I've got to go to another party now." And he flies
Good.
out the
And when
cavern.
you're flying, how much? Sorry, when you this flying
60
flightless
feet.
bird, 60.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So as you fly this 60 feet, which is fantastic, and you manage to squeeze yourself through this 2-foot opening at the top, which could have been the death of you. One.
He does find
and
himself in a heavily obscured
so
area.
As I fly over the top of the stone, I take it, I look down, and I can't see either of these guys.
That's right.
Is it possible to see them with a sufficiently good perception check, or is it just
No,
impossible?
It's big old heavy fog. Just to tell you, with your 60 feet of motion of movement, you can get just out of the exit of the cave. You would be standing on the opposite side of the opening.
Yeah,
Hopefully
Inkatink would
fly.
rather leave
fly.
the mouth of the cave and be much farther away. So he is going to try to fly up to up to where he's along the ceiling, just
Okay.
back from the exit of the cave. Maybe
Okay.
like over the brambles
Still in
or
the
something
fog
like
cloud?
that.
Which
You
will
know
put
what?
you-
Yeah, sure. I guess he will just stop in the fog cloud
That'll
since
put you
that's
about
a good.
10-15 feet away from the exit.
That's
Okay.
perfect.
What I
And
want you to do,
he'll call out, "All right, boys, time to skedaddle."
I want you to roll me a 1. Sorry, I should have. Okay, do
No,
this first.
don't roll a 1.
Roll me a perception check. Your DC is 23.
Perception check, eh? Well. Oh, well, that's impossible for me because I have a +0 to perception.
Fair
And I
enough.
rolled a 12.
Next, I would like for you, please, to roll me a. You know what? Actually, don't roll. I am going to roll to see if you bump into anything as you're flying out, because you're
Okay.
flying out. That's going to be on a. You do. Roll me a stealth check on a DC 12 with advantage.
Okay.
Maybe spider that remains.
19.
Okay. Here's what happens. You are flying and you say whatever you just said, see you on the other side, boys, or whatever. And
Let's skedaddle, boys!
Oh, that's right. Let's skedaddle, boys. And as you're doing that kind of backwards into the fog so they can hear you, you feel against your kind of scaly feathers furry, hard muscles. Some apish creature seems to make grunting sounds and swats at itself, trying to find you, but you've slipped past it.
Hopefully using up some of its attacks.
That's right.
3 of its reactions gone.
It's a big dude. It fills a lot of the space there. Okay, that's great. That's Inkating's turn. It is Belvari's turn. Belvari, you are suddenly enshrouded in a dense cloud.
Nice. I have, as a lion, I have a special ability, Keen Smell, advantage on wisdom perception checks that will rely on smell. Can I use that to hug the side of the thing and get past this brute beast?
I do not know if you can get past it, but you can use it to try. I will note that it also has Keen Smell and has advantage on wisdom checks that rely on smell.
So I guess that cancels out.
No, you just roll. We're going to roll a contested.
Both
he
with
smells it. You
advantage?
smell it. He smells.
Both with advantage.
Only in D&D can you smell your way out of the last bit of a fight.
So is it just roll 20?
Sometimes at my house, the kids.
It is,
You just see them both flare their nostrils. What are they doing? Shh.
is it perception?
It is
like
a
smell
wisdom perception.
Gotcha.
So just use your wisdom. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
just cast smell the path.
Smell the path. Okay, I got 22 with my +3 wisdom.
was that with advantage?
Yes, with advantage. I rolled a
Heck
17
yeah.
and a 19.
That's really good.
I got a 17, and I only have one die, so I have to roll twice. And
If this
10.
thing can smell me, then all I did was make it impossible for me to
See?
to see it.
to see anything.
Well, actually, it could have just seen you and just gotten the attacks.
Yeah, you kept
This way, it had to try to detect. However, you do actually beat it out. You successfully get past it.
Gotcha. Actually, also, I just realized he would only be able to take reactions, and he can't see me. So
Okay. Yeah, you
Yes.
can't see you.
anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
I got out. So I have 50 feet of movement. Where does that put me if I use it all?
That puts you from where you are. 30 of that feet will put you to the edge of the cloud,
Okay.
and that so you're still in the cave, but you're at the edge of the swampiness of the cloud. And 20 more feet will put you right at the exit. Again, you can, just like, you are now, though you wouldn't know this, Inkatink's floating above you.
Mm-hmm.
You're below him at the edge of the cloud. You could make it, just like him, you could get just out of the
Gotcha.
exit.
And I forgot. Do I see Diamondback or not?
You don't. It's
Okay.
all foggy.
You might
I
smell
do
me.
know that Yoshika's outside pretending to be Spolash, and that I heard some spiders that I had seen retreat, and I heard him say, like, guard the entrance. So I know he's doing something out there. So I think what Belvari would do is just hit it going, and he still has Expeditious Retreat. So would try to use all 3 of my movements to go 150 feet.
Okay. You still have... Okay. So all 3 to go 150 total.
Yeah.
So let me just figure out where that would get you. That's...
Pretty close to me.
Yeah. 150 feet is Okay, so you need to go 30. I'm trying to figure out. Okay.
And I don't know if this helps. I have running leap. This might just be like you can jump over something 25 feet, but I
Yeah.
would like to kind of hit the entrance and jump as if I were going to cover 25 of those 50 feet in the air.
Plus, that looks really good.
Yeah, it
Video.
looks cool. Yeah.
You get to where almost where Talid is. You're between Talid, Tall, and Neno. However,
Somebody's going to play.
there are
Yeah, so-
opportunity attacks
Yeah.
as you emerge.
Okay.
These guys are ready. They're at Spolash's command, ready to react to someone coming out.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna do.
I'm in the air.
You are in the air. That is correct. Great.
Are they not startled at all by a lion emerging from this cave?
They're just looking for the first thing that comes out. Hit it.
Did they follow me up to the mouth, or did they stay right up there?
They just stayed by the gate. So let's see, and you reinforced that order with the Orvin are coming out.
Maybe a lion would be like, oh, wait, that's not an Orvin.
Maybe.
I have a
they're
moment
gonna,
of self-doubt.
They're going to take their opportunity attacks. Here's what you get. Let's see how this works.
If I may, I'll use my reaction if I see him to call them to hold.
They'll have their reactions first. They're right there.
Okay.
They wouldn't be able to react to your reaction, interrupting their reaction to his
Okay.
to the same thing you're reacting to.
If it's too quick, then I will not yell anything out. If
Okay.
I just see I don't have a chance.
Okay, sounds good. So let's see. The first guy is. They're just gonna. You got 4 bam bam bams. Actually, no. You've got a little bit more than that. Does a 12 hit you?
That ties.
Okay, so it does hit.
Does it?
And I need a. Jacob, will you hand me a D8?
Too many D.
And that does 5 damage.
Okay, so Belvari emerges as if from a lion
So,
being struck.
I will narrate what happens. This lion has been shredded. I mean, it is in pieces, like held together. As it leaps through the air, it is met full force with a baseball bat style swing quarterstaff. This guy was ready for whatever came out. Wasn't expecting a lion, but man, he saw one and just took his swing. The lion's constitution, literal constitution, was insufficient. And like a baseball bat hitting a grapefruit, it is
Or a
ripped.
butterfly coming from a chrysalis.
Maybe. And that butterfly, that bloody butterfly, is Belvari tumbling out of the lion's carcass.
Like the lion vomited him out.
That's right. But out of the eater, something sweet.
Oh, Belvari's sweet.
That's nice.
I prefer to think of him as tart.
So Belvari is now out in full health.
Yeah.
Goodness.
What, does that at least slow them down and make them go, what?
They're just swinging
Okay.
at meat, and your meat. Next guy does a 16 hit.
Yep.
Okay, he does 3 damage. Next guy does a 5 hit.
It does not, finally. My armor did something.
He doesn't do 9 damage.
Ooh,
I just
good.
rolled that just to see.
Phew.
Okay.
He doesn't do all sorts of other damages also, technically.
You
That's the most meaningful thing to
The
say.
1,000 cigarettes I didn't smoke.
you also have a 9. Does a 9 hit you?
Does not.
Does an 8 hit you?
Does not. Oh, man.
Does a
I like to
ooh,
think this is the effect of...
it went 17. 7.
Oh, phew.
Does a 10 hit you?
A 10 does not, thanks to the leather armor that Garriott gave me.
And I'm just checking. That was all of the wolf spiders. Wolf spiders missed you as you came out.
You ever been hit so hard you changed species?
That was good.
Yep.
That's right. And then finally, though it had a taste for snake, there is a giant mongoose ready. Does a... rolled it on the fire. Yeah, 23 hit you.
Yep.
Okay. And it does 6 damage.
6.
So where does that put you, just to give me a sense?
30 out of 39.
Okay.
You have 39 hit points?
Yeah.
No wonder I'm always riding around on y'all's shoulders. Good golly. Woo!
So you take serious damage coming out of this. Great. We're going to stop in just a minute. It's 10:05. But let's see what happens next. Let's finish this round out.
So my speed is reduced to 30 for whatever.
For the remainder?
After, yeah.
Okay. What that means for you here is you get to the end of the kind of horseshoe-shaped corridor of wall of thorns.
Gotcha.
Thorn wall, whatever it's called. So you're not out of it. You've got another 5 or so feet to go to get like past the opening, but you're 30 feet past these guys as you hit the ground, running, and sprint towards the exit. It is you. There is more commotion. You don't know what to do with that because it's not whatever. A Diamondback and Inkatink roaring past you. A giant Girolon, not giant, a regular a Girolon runs past you. You don't see him, but you actually, as you're at the edge of the fog, he moves past you and you're on the walls, and you kind of hear him go forward. And
my thing has that after Talid. I don't know if that's
you have what after Talid?
the Girolon.
You're right. It's Talid's turn. Sorry, Talid, your turn.
I run.
Okay.
But you were gonna.
It's the gorilla.
You're gonna hide?
Yes, I'll do that.
Roll me a
instead.
stealth check.
Oh gosh. Does anyone have a D20?
Here.
Thank you. All right. So that's a 12 plus. Oh gosh, what's my stealth? Skills. Plus 2, 14.
Okay. Sounds good. The Girolon, let's see, is able to go 8. Okay, so he runs out, makes it out, and then sees Belvari. That's the ape creature. And he is able to sprint towards Belvari using his aggressive nature. He just like runs out and sees an enemy and rolls towards him. Belvari, here are some attacks.
Oh, man.
Let's see
Use
here.
that extra lion distance.
Zoop. I have to shrink that and get my... Here we go. There he is.
So you're near the mouth. He's near the mouth. He has already readied rebukes to people who are chasing you guys.
Mm-hmm. So you're about... This guy's about 10 feet from Spolash, Yoshka Spolash. And so is... Both of them are... The Girolon comes in is about 10 feet. It is not attacking Yoshka Spolash. It's attacking the one it knows as an enemy. Okay.
But he did ready to shout to anybody he saw pursuing one of these guys.
Sure. Do you want to use that shout? Do you want to shout?
That's what's happening right now?
The guy's,
Sorry, I was thinking about some stuff.
Yeah, the guy's pounding, getting ready to pound Belvari. It's a Girolon. It's dumb. It doesn't respond to commands.
Oh, it's not them.
No.
I was keeping my eye out. He's in front of me.
He's
No,
behind
I
you
want to
10
talk
feet.
to a girl. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we've
Oh,
got.
you're behind me 10 feet.
He's made his way to the opening of the horseshoe.
Okay.
And
So
this-
they're passing me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. You're 10 feet past them, but he's running up to you. He doesn't quite make it up to you.
Okay.
10 feet
So,
shy.
for what it's worth, I moved 50 feet as a lion and then like 60 feet as Belvari.
You moved 50 feet as a lion.
I did use Expeditious Retreat.
Okay. Let me think. Let me see. Let me make sure that works then. Let me see what I did then.
Yeah,
That's
just-
much farther than me.
I think I did 30 feet as Belvari.
Gotcha. Well, I would want to use that extra 30
Yeah.
feet if I could. Oh, but I probably need to keep concentration on all those.
On what? Oh, yeah. We would need to roll that. Do you want to roll those?
Yeah,
It's 50-50 for...
I got hit 3 times.
Yes. So if you roll less than a 10... Let me see if we can find that, Jacob. Oh, here. I got it.
Okay.
Less than a 10 on any of 3 rolls. So it's like kind of like double disadvantage.
Well, on the first one, so.
Okay. So you do make it to about where Yoshiki is. Thank you. I had not remembered the Expedition Retreat, so I appreciate it.
It's a lot to remember.
Yeah. So let's do these real quickly. Whatever. And okay, it is. There we go. Does a 15 hit you
Yep.
for 5 damage? 23
Mm-hmm.
for 6 damage. A natural 20, so which does hit with 2 d4s. Which I rolled a 1 and a 2, so that was pretty good. So 6 damage. Natural 1. So
Nice.
a critical miss right after a critical hit. And in keeping with my thing, I'm going to roll to see how that goes. Didn't affect him. I rolled to see how severely he missed, but he missed very badly. And I'm going to have that take away one of his, as the critical part of the critical miss is that he like gets off balance and doesn't do one. So he has one attack left and does a 14 hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What? How many attacks does he get?
And he does 5. And he does 4 damage that time.
That's a lot of gorilla arms.
It's a lot of gorilla arms.
Too many, some would say.
Okay. Great. All right. Other stuff happens. The mongoose, they all actually stay because they're waiting, following orders. Toll, it's your turn.
Okay, I am going to see Belvari getting
Pummeled.
getting the majority of the attention of this behemoth, and is it going to take an action to put Neno down?
No.
Okay,
She's cooperating.
okay, yeah, I'll put her down. How far away from it am I?
You're probably about, let's see, you're about 50 feet. 40 feet maybe. Well, no, it's about 50.
50. Okay. I think I will just use Ray of Frost
Okay,
on that thing, slow it down, do some damage.
great. What you got?
I was looking for the roll on D&D Beyond that'll like automatically include your spell attack, but there isn't one, and I always forget that.
Jacob.
That's a 10 to hit.
It does not hit.
Wah, wah.
But a ray of frost tears past Spolash towards this Giralon and misses the Giralon. Though, perhaps Belvari is encouraged.
Plus
Maybe
five.
Yeah.
Giralon thinks that could have been him.
What'd you say, Toll? Pat?
I didn't say anything, but I was going to say that I will also use my bonus action to do a distracting glint with my scale mail.
There you go.
But I will move away from Neno when I do that because I don't think I want that thing coming toward her.